Don't move. The voice wasn't loud, but it carried weight. The kind that makes your body obey before your brain understands why. Froze. Not because I wanted to. Because every instinct I had was screaming the same thing. You're not safe here. The hallway stretched endlessly in front of me, glowing walls pulsing like something alive. The air felt wrong. Too clean. Too still. And the beings walking beside me, they weren't human. Silent. Perfect. Too perfect. I'm just walking, I said carefully, trying to keep my voice steady. That's still allowed, right? The alien escort didn't even turn his head. You are already violating multiple laws, he replied. Great, I muttered. Love that for me. We stepped into a massive chamber, and everything stopped. Hundreds of eyes locked onto me. Not curious, not confused, afraid. That hit harder than anything. Wait here, the escort said, stepping forward. Like I had a better plan. The whispers started immediately. Not out loud. Inside my head. Human. Impossible. Dangerous. Okay, I whispered. This is officially the worst day of my life. Then he appeared. Guard. Bigger than the rest. Stronger. His presence pressed down on me like gravity itself. He walked straight toward me. No hesitation. No doubt. You do not belong here, he said. Yeah, I answered. We agree on that. His hand lifted. I didn't even see the attack. Just felt it. A force slammed into my chest. I hit the ground hard, breath gone, vision spinning. Pain spread through my body like fire. Before I could move, light formed in his hand. A weapon. Pure energy. You are a threat, he declared. To what? I don't even know where I am. No one moved. No one stopped him. I realized something in that moment. This is how I die. The light intensified. The air burned. And then, don't touch him. The voice exploded through the chamber. Everything froze. Even the weapon flickered. I looked up and saw her. She moved like light itself, stepping forward from a golden glow that made the entire room feel warmer, safer. The princess. Her eyes locked onto mine. And for the first time since I got here, I didn't feel like prey. Lower your weapon, she said. The guard hesitated. Actually hesitated. Then slowly, the light disappeared. She stepped in front of me, protecting me. No one touches him. Silence fell again. Heavy. Unstable. The guard spoke carefully. Explain your interference. She didn't hesitate. He is under my authority. That is not enough. Then she said it. Clear. Unbreakable. He is my fiancé. My brain stopped. I'm sorry, I said. I'm your what? But no one laughed. Because suddenly, they were all afraid. The word fiancé didn't just shock them. Scared them. That is impossible, the guard said. The princess stepped closer to me. You carry the mark. I don't even know what that means, I replied. Then I felt it. A warmth in my chest. Spreading slowly. Growing stronger. I looked down. A faint glow appeared beneath my skin. Okay, I whispered. That's definitely not normal. The chamber erupted. It's real. The bond. This cannot happen again. The princess reached toward me. The moment her hand came close, the light reacted, brightened, alive, like it knew her. The entire room gasped. They are connected. I looked at her. You mind explaining before I panic? Her voice softened. I searched for you, across systems, across years. That didn't help. What happens now? Asked. Her expression hardened. They will try to take you. Right on cue. Guards surrounded us. Weapons forming instantly. You will be contained, one said. Studied. Controlled. Yeah, I muttered. I don't like any of those options. The princess grabbed my hand. Firm. Certain. If you move against him, you move against me. The room exploded into chaos. This is treason. She binds herself to a human. You risk everything. I leaned slightly toward her. You always do dramatic entrances like this? No, she said quietly. First time. Nice. The guards hesitated. Not because they wanted to. 'Cause they had to. I took a slow breath. Every instinct told me to run. But I didn't. Instead, I stepped forward. Wait. Silence fell again. You keep calling me a threat, I said. But none of you actually know what I am. The guard stared at me. So here's an idea, I continued. Instead of locking me up, let me prove it. Prove what? He asked. That I'm not your enemy. Was long, heavy. You would stay, he asked. I looked at the princess. She didn't let go of my hand. Not even for a second. Then I looked back at him. Yeah, I said. I would. And something changed. Not trust. Not yet. But something close. They gave me a chance. A risky one. A desperate one. And honestly, they had no idea what they just agreed to. Hours later, the alarms started. Loud. Urgent. The sky above the alien city tore open with light. Massive warships descended. Dark. Ancient. Terrifying. They've returned, the guard said. The princess looked at me. This is why you're here. Still not clear why, I answered. You will be. The alien forces prepared defenses. Organized. Precise. Careful. Too careful. They hesitated. Afraid of making the wrong move. I stepped forward. No. They all looked at me. You're doing it wrong. The guard frowned. Explain. You wait too much, I said. You think too much. I pointed at the sky. Humans don't. Before anyone could stop me, ran straight to the control platform. What is he doing? Someone shouted. Something stupid, I muttered. Probably. The mark in my chest pulsed. Faster. Stronger. Alive. I reached the controls. Didn't understand them. Didn't need to. Princess, I said. Trust me. She didn't hesitate. I do. That was enough. I placed my hand on the system. The mark reacted instantly. Energy surged. Wild. Uncontrolled. Human. The entire defense grid activated at once. Faster than ever before. Stronger than designed. Unpredictable. The enemy ships hesitated. That was their mistake. A massive wave of energy blasted into orbit. One ship exploded. Then another. Then chaos. The aliens watched in shock. Impossible, the guard whispered. I smiled slightly. No, I said. Human. Within minutes. It was over. The sky cleared. Silence returned. But everything had changed. They looked at me again. Not with fear. Not with suspicion. With respect. The princess stepped beside me, still holding my hand. You see now? She asked softly. He nodded. Yeah. I looked out at the stars. Humans don't follow the rules. Took a breath. We rewrite them. And in that moment, the galaxy didn't just accept humanity. It realized something far more dangerous. Humans weren't the anomaly. We were the answer. The silence after the battle didn't feel like peace. Felt like something waiting. I stood there, staring at the empty sky where enemy ships had burned just minutes ago. My chest still glowed faintly, the mark pulsing like a slow heartbeat. I did that, I said under my breath. Yes, the princess replied softly. Her hand was still in mine, warm, steady, like she refused to let go. Around us, the alien guards slowly lowered their weapons. Not in defeat, but in realization. The same guard who had attacked me stepped forward again. This time there was no aggression, only caution. You acted without calculation, he said. Yeah, I replied. That's kind of our thing. That is dangerous. Gave a small shrug. So is doing nothing. A long pause followed. Then slowly, he lowered his head. Respect. Not complete, but real. Across the chamber, others began to follow. Hundreds of them. The same beings who once saw me as a threat, now weren't so sure. The princess stepped slightly closer to me. You changed something today, she said. I shook my head. No. I just didn't freeze. She looked at me carefully. That is exactly what makes you different. Before I could respond, the mark in my chest pulsed again. Harder this time. Flinched. Okay. Yeah, that's definitely not normal. The glow spread across my chest, brighter than before. The air shifted. The sky reacted. Not with ships. Not with weapons. With something far worse. A ripple of energy moved across the stars themselves. Like reality had just been disturbed. The entire court looked up. Fear returned instantly. But deeper this time. Older. No. One of them whispered. That signal. The guard stiffened. It cannot be. I looked at the princess. You want to explain what's happening? She didn't answer right away. And that silence told me everything. They felt it, she said finally. Felt what? The bond. I blinked. Okay. And that's bad. Her voice dropped. Yes. The guard stepped forward. If they have detected this, then they will come. Who? Asked. He looked directly at me. The ones who destroyed the last alliance between our kind and yours. That didn't sound great. Let me guess, I said. They don't like humans. They fear them, the princess said. I frowned slightly. That's new. No, she replied. That is why they will try to erase you. Silence fell again. Heavy. I looked down at the glowing mark, then back at the sky, then at the entire alien empire. Now watching me like I was the center of everything. All right, I said slowly. Guess things just got bigger. The alarms didn't return. They didn't need to. Everyone already knew. Something was coming. And this time, it wasn't just an attack. It was a warning. The guard turned to the council. We must prepare full planetary defense. One of the elders stepped forward. That will not be enough. They defeated entire civilizations, another said. They do not fight wars, they end them. I crossed my arms slightly. Yeah, I said. Well, they haven't fought humans yet. A few of them actually reacted to that. Confusion. Curiosity. The princess looked at me. You are not afraid, she said. I am, I replied honestly. I took a slow breath. I'm just not running. That made the difference. I could see it in their eyes. That one choice. Stay or run. And I had already chosen. The guard studied me again. Your kind always acts like this. Pretty much, I said. We panic later. That almost sounded like respect when he spoke again. Then perhaps, that is why you survived. The mark pulsed again. Stronger now. Not random. Not unstable. Focused. Like it was syncing with something. Or preparing. I clenched my hand slightly. Okay, I said. So what's the plan? The room went quiet. Because they didn't have one. Not for this. Not for what was coming. I let out a small breath. All right, I said. Then we make one. The guard tilted his head slightly. You. He nodded. Yeah, me. The princess didn't hesitate. I trust him. That was enough. It wasn't logical. It wasn't calculated. But it changed everything. I stepped forward, looking at the massive holographic display of their systems. Enemy approach routes. Defense lines. Weak points. You're all thinking like them, I said. Predictable. Careful. Pointed at the map. That's why they keep winning. The guard frowned. Then what do you suggest? I smiled slightly. Something they won't expect. The mark flared again. Bright. Live. Human. We don't defend, I said. The room went still. We hit them first. Immediate. That is suicide, one of the elders said. Maybe, I replied. Or maybe it's the first time they lose. Silence. Long. Heavy. Then the princess stepped beside me. Her hand found mine again. Still steady. Still certain. If there is even a chance, she said, we take it. The guard looked between us. then at the rest of the council, then back at me. You would lead this, he asked. I looked at the stars, at the incoming threat, at the impossible situation. Then I smiled slightly. Yeah, I said. Because if they're coming for me, I cracked my knuckles lightly. They're going to regret it. The mark pulsed one more time, stronger than ever, and somewhere far beyond the stars, something answered. Final narration line. In a galaxy ruled by fear and ancient power, one human made a choice. Not to run, not to hide, but to fight first. Because humanity was never the weakest species. We were the ones who survived the impossible, and then challenged it again. The stars didn't wait. They never do. Hours after the signal, they arrived. Not with noise, not with warning, but with presence. Massive shadows appeared at the edge of the system. Warships so large they blocked out entire constellations. Their surfaces were dark, almost absorbing light itself. The room went silent. Even the alien commanders, ancient, powerful, experienced, looked small in that moment. They're early, the guard said. They're always early, another replied. I stared at the display. Dozens of ships. No, hundreds. All right, I muttered. That's a problem. The princess stood beside me. Not behind. Not hidden. Beside me. They are stronger than before, she said quietly. Good, I replied. She glanced at me. I gave a small grin. Means we'll have to try harder. That got a reaction. Not laughter, but something close. The guard stepped forward. All units ready. Defensive grid at maximum output. I shook my head. No. He turned sharply. No. We're not waiting, I said. We strike first. That is reckless. That is human. The mark in my chest pulsed again. Faster now. Like it agreed. I stepped toward the control interface. Redirect power, I said. All of it. That will leave the inner systems exposed, the guard warned. Yeah, I said. That's the point. Confusion spread across the room. Explain, he demanded. I pointed at the enemy fleet. They expect defense. Walls. Shields. Delay. Pause. So we give them none of that. The princess understood first. They will not predict aggression, she said. He nodded. Exactly. The guard hesitated. Every instinct he had was telling him this was wrong, dangerous, unthinkable. But then, he looked at me. The mark. At what had already happened. Do it, he said. Everything changed in that moment. Energy shifted across the system. Defense grids collapsed inward, and then surged outward. Weapons powered beyond safe limits. Alarms screamed. Systems overloading. Containment failing. Stabilize output. I placed my hand on the interface. Don't stabilize it, I said. Push it. The mark flared. Bright. Blinding. The entire system responded. Not like a machine. Like something alive. The enemy fleet moved. Too late. A massive wave of energy launched from the planet. Not controlled. Not precise. But overwhelming. It hit the front line of enemy ships. And tore through them. Explosions lit up the void. 3 ships gone instantly. 5 more damaged. The aliens around me froze. Impossible, someone whispered. I shook my head slightly. No, I said. Unpredictable. The enemy reacted fast. Faster than before. Their ships spread out, adapting instantly. They're adjusting, the guard shouted. Good, I replied. Means they're scared. I redirected the energy again. Not in patterns. Not in formation. Random. Chaotic. Human. Another blast. Another wave. The enemy formation broke. For the first time. They weren't controlling the fight. They were reacting to it. The princess watched the battlefield. They cannot read your strategy, she said. I smiled slightly. That's because there isn't one. That was the truth. Humans didn't always win because we were stronger. We won because we did things no one expected. The mark pulsed again. But this time, something answered. From the enemy fleet, a massive ship moved forward. Larger than all the others. Different. The guard's voice dropped. That is their command vessel. Good, I said. Then we aim for it. That is suicide. Yeah, I replied. Probably. I looked at the princess. She didn't look away. Still trust me? Yes. Yes, she said instantly. That was enough. Focused everything. All the energy. All the power. All the chaos. Into one strike. The mark burned in my chest. The system screamed. And then, we fired. A beam unlike anything before shot across space. Straight toward the command ship. For a second, nothing happened. Impact. The entire vessel cracked with light. Energy burst from within. And the ship collapsed. Silence followed. Then chaos. The remaining enemy ships broke formation. Retreating. Not regrouping. Not attacking. Running. The room stood frozen. No one spoke. No one moved. Then slowly, the guard exhaled. They are retreating. I leaned back slightly. Yeah, I said. They don't like surprises. The princess stepped closer. Her hand found mine again. You didn't just stop them, she said. You changed the outcome. I looked out at the stars. At the fleeing enemy. At the impossible victory. And I shook my head slightly. No, I said. This was just the beginning. Because deep down, I knew something they didn't. The enemy hadn't come to win. They had come to test. Now, they knew exactly what humanity could do. Final narration line. The galaxy had faced power before. It had faced intelligence. It had faced control. But now, it had faced something new. Something unpredictable. Something unstoppable. Humanity, and the war, had only just begun. Fire.